Hello and welcome to another episode of the Illinois Workers Project. I'm your host, David Luna, and today's September 27, 2020. Today we're in front of the Kane County Fairgrounds here in Geneva, Illinois, with an organized effort put together by your local labor unions to protest the Donald Trump rally here at the Kane County Fairgrounds. People are excited to see us, and I'm glad that they are. So there's nothing more American than a union. There's not even apple pie. Mark, would you like to give a short introduction of yourself and let people know who you are and why you're here and the importance of the message that you're trying to convey to the public today?
Well, my name's Mark Gately. I'm recently retired from the Painters Union. I'm a 41-year member, and I'm also the chair of the Kane County Democratic Party. The reason why I'm here is to support the middle class, and I'm a pro-union person, and Trump is not pro-union. Trump is for a right-to-work country. Trump supports getting rid of prevailing wage. Trump supports lowering the minimum wage. Trump supports a national labor board that's anti-union. Trump has done nothing for organized labor. In fact, you can say that he's been an anti-union president, and that's why I'm here. And I'll be supporting Biden with the rest of my brothers and sisters.
And from my understanding, the newest proposal that the Trump administration gave to change the labor standards from the Davis-Bacon Act to the Bureau of Labor Standards would actually affect the Painters Union the most by lowering their wages 69%. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, well he would like to do away with Davis-Bacon, and fortunately we have Democrat support, and we have some support on the Republican side in the U.S. House. So it's a stretch, but he would like to see that ended. And prevailing wage, lower wages, take away benefits, basically harm the middle class. Currently, we're at the lowest levels since the history and conception of unions and unionism because of Donald Trump. And unemployment is skyrocketing. We're at the highest level of unemployment since the Great Recession. And he has done nothing to help. And he's been a disaster on the COVID response. And you make the argument here in St. Charles that since he's attacked OSHA and gutted OSHA, the workers are forced to work unsafely in these meatpacking processing plants. So he's been a total disaster.
Absolutely. That's actually how I got started. I started off with a non-union company. We didn't have any training. There was no sort of certifications or anyone really telling me how to do things safely. And it was unfortunate, but a lot of things are happening looking back at it where I was truly putting my life at risk. So I appreciate you coming out here today,
of course,
and standing for the middle class.
That's right. That's why I'm here. Thank you for being here too.
Yeah. Would you like to give a short introduction of yourself and who you are and why you're here?
Sure, absolutely. I'm Corinne Pierog, and as you can see, I'm running for Kane County Board Chair, and elected I will be the very first Democrat ever to hold this seat in the history of Kane County. So needless to say, I'm really excited and very hopeful that we'll be able to finally shift this. I'm definitely pro-union. My dad was a union carpenter, and it was because he passed away when I was in college, but it was because of his pension I was able to complete my degree and then able to support my family and make a living. So the unions always have a very soft spot for me because of the help that they gave to me personally as well as to my children. But secondly, Kane County needs to have a responsible bidder law, ordinance so that unions can come here fairly and making sure that we have interns that can learn the trades and grow and prosper and be able to support their families just like my dad's pension was able to help mine. No longer will we disrespect union contracts and treat our county workers like subclass citizens and pawns of an austere budget. Their work is going to be respected. We're going to make sure that they have adequate pay raises and the tools to do their jobs. And the reason why is the better they do, the better we all do. So I'm fully supportive of unions, and I hope I can get your support and vote in the upcoming November 3rd election. Thank you.
The American laborer has been organizing and protesting unfair labor practices even before the United States was a nation. From the very first time a group of journeyman tailors came together in New York to protest and strike against a wage reduction, to 26 years later when the very first formal labor union was established in Philadelphia, when shoemakers came together to form the Federal Society of Journeymen Cordwainers. American unions are even more American than apple pie. Now let's fast forward a couple hundred years to 1934, when Senator Wagner proposed in his bill, the Wagner Bill, to create a new independent agency called the National Labor Relations Board. It would be made up of 3 members appointed by the president and confirmed by the Senate, which would be a Republican-held Senate today, rather than mediate disputes. It gave employees a right under Section 7 to form and join unions, and it obligated employers to bargain collectively with unions selected by a majority. Today, the National Labor Relations Board is made up of 5 board seats, 4 currently filled, 1 is vacant, 3 Republican, 1 is a Democrat. All were appointed by Donald Trump and approved by a Republican-held Senate. So why does this matter? Why should you care about the NLRB board and what they're supposed to be doing to protect and even out the playing field between collective bargaining units, people in the workplace trying to organize and their employers? And I'll tell you why it's important. Because he is dismantling what little is left of our unionized workforce. It's like 10% of the whole workforce in the USA. And now we set the standard for what other companies and employers pay their workers, especially in our industry, the construction industry. And then there's a whole lot of other unions that I'm not familiar with that I would love to network. So if you guys hear this, please like my page, the Illinois Workers Project, and send me a message. I would love to link up with you guys soon. But going back to the NLRB board, they are essential to our survival. And there's a study that was published by the Economic Policy Institute just recently, a few days ago on September 17th, that outlines specifically how the Donald Trump administration has been attacking our safety, our wages, and our livelihoods from the very first day he stepped into office. The Trump administration's NLRB board has contributed so much to the undermining of the collective bargaining process, from taking away the employees' rights and their supporters to be on their company's property to discuss and publicize their views on workplace issues, to putting gag orders on employees on any investigations and keeping them confidential that might rile people up, or, not even allowing people to use company emails to communicate with one another to discuss workplace issues. It doesn't sound like much, but those things, they do change the environment of your workplace. Just recently, I was talking to a young lady, and she was telling me about how she works in a warehouse in Aurora, Illinois, and how they have a policy there where you can't take longer than 10 minutes in the bathroom. So one day, it just so happened to be that time of the month for her. She wanted to take care of her hygiene. She just so happened to take a little bit longer. But she was taken aback when she walked out of that bathroom, and there was a supervisor there that literally timed her and told her, hey, you went above the 10 minutes. So then she had to go explain herself to another supervisor that just so happened to be a man. That is humiliating. That is unacceptable. And that should never happen. Right? And she told me that it's a very abusive policy because there's a lot of older ladies that work with her, and they really believe this stuff. Like, they don't want to lose their job. They don't want to get in trouble. So there's a lot of times where they have to hurry and not be able to take care of themselves the way that they want to or need to stay clean and healthy, because they have to be out of the bathroom by 10 minutes, Now imagine a world where this young lady tried to organize these other women. And she tried to say, hey, after work, let's talk about this policy and let's see if we can bargain with the employer to change that. Let's speak up. She wouldn't be able to do that. And the NLRB board wouldn't have her back because they just passed a rule stating that an employer can discipline them at their discretion for them trying to organize on their property. I'll provide the link in the description below. That's the type of environment the Donald Trump administration has created, one of intimidation and fear. You think a person working in a place like that is going to want to organize? They're scared. They're scared to even go to the bathroom. And that's unacceptable, y'all. That's unacceptable. I do want to give a quick shout out to Labor's Local 582. I know that it took a lot of you guys and gals to bring this event together. I appreciate all of your sacrifices and your efforts and for standing with working class families on this day. Also want to give a quick shout out to all the tradesmen and tradeswomen that showed up. We appreciate you guys, and I hope that more people are inspired to care enough to get involved. I think it's very important. So go out and vote November 3rd. Vote blue, vote Democratic, and we'll see all of you at the ballot box.